Hi guys, this is Bill from Spencer1984.com with what's going to be the last update to the Half-Life 2 muscle car. And we're going to start out things with the back end of the car, because I realized looking back at the last few updates, I'd been neglecting the trunk. So, spent some time back here. Inside the trunk, I've now got the fuel fill in place, and I've also got the lip around the edge with the rubber gasket. And this section right here is where the previous owner did kind of a rough job cutting the opening. You can see it's not very straight. So I just ran with that, and I have the lip rotted out right here and some extra heavy rust there on the edge with the rubber gasket hanging down, so it just looks like it's a rotted out section of the trunk there. And I've also got the bottom of it so that it looks like the trunk had been left open and was collecting rain and debris. And I'll put some more detail in there, maybe some fuel cans or oil cans. And to match that, I also rusted the underside of the trunk, again like it had been left open. And part of the reason why I did it like that was this was a glue bomb trunk, and it had some pretty nasty glue marks on the bottom of it. So I just ran with it, turned them into rust holes. Up front, I've added the master cylinder with the appropriate lines, and added a brake pedal, which I think this is probably the first model that I've actually built a full brake pedal for. Normally they're hidden under the dashboard, but since the dashboard is kind of going to be out in the open here, couldn't do that. I've also got transmission lines going to the radiator and the radiator cap. And I also changed out the shock mount right here. I used to have just a rod going back, but that didn't look quite right to me, so I replaced it with a short section of some guitar wire, so it looks like an actual threaded piece. I also did a little more weathering to the seats, the engine. So this is now pretty much ready to go. Just need to add some final detail work, and of course the dashboard, which I've got that cut down to size, and I've got all the gauges drilled out. These two main ones are going to get actual gauge faces. These ones aren't. These are going to get some Detail Master photo etch pieces in there, hanging down off the bottom of the dashboard to match the game model. And cut out the ashtray. I did leave the radio in, and I even added a proper radio to the back of it. I'll throw some wires on that. I also added some boxes for what look like the intact switches. And I'm not going to wire everything up, but I am going to make it look like they just kind of stripped out whatever was unnecessary. And that'll fit right in there, just like so. So yeah, it's been a lot of fiddly work and a lot of tiny work, but this is pretty much in the final stages right now. It's one of those models that I could keep adding details to it for years, but I'm just going to have to call it good at some point, and that some point's going to be in the next few days. Once it gets to a certain point, I'll know that it'll be time to quit. So check back next week for a full finished photo shoot. Thanks for watching.